November 24th, 1971, the day before Thanksgiving. Portland Airport, an ordinary man, an ordinary ticket. But what happened next was anything but ordinary. His name, Dan Cooper. Age, mid-40s. He wore a business suit, a tie, loafers, carried a briefcase, a newspaper, and cigarettes. The perfect picture of a businessman. The flight, Portland to Seattle. Duration, 30 minutes. Ticket price, $20 cash. One way, no ID check. That's just how it was in 1971. The waiting lounge. He drank a bourbon and soda, smoked a cigarette, read his newspaper. He was quiet, calm, unnoticeable. No one paid him any attention. The plane, Northwest Orient 305, a Boeing 727, 36 passengers, 6 crew. Destination, Seattle. Weather, light clouds, cold. 2:50 p.m. The plane took off. Cooper was in seat 18E, in the back, by the window. He quietly read a book, smoked a cigarette. 3 Bachmars p.m., 10 minutes after takeoff. Flight attendant Florence Schaffner approached. Cooper handed her a small piece of paper. It said, "I have a bomb." Florence thought it was a joke. Maybe another passenger handing her a love note mid-flight. She didn't open it, but Cooper insisted, "Read it." Florence read, "I have a bomb in my briefcase. Sit next to me." She froze. Cooper opened the briefcase. He showed her red sticks, yellow wires. Florence notified the pilot. Captain William Scott got the message. Cooper's demand, $200,000, in 20s, 4 parachutes, to be delivered in Seattle. The plane was on its way to Seattle. 30 minutes left. The passengers had no idea. It looked like a calm flight, but in the cockpit, there was panic. Captain Scott radioed the FBI. Seattle Airport went on high alert. $200,000 was prepared, all in $20 bills. The serial numbers were recorded. Parachutes were gathered. Military, civilian, emergency, training. The FBI prepared 4 chutes of every kind, just as Cooper had requested. 5:24 p.m. The plane landed in Seattle. The runway was cleared. Cooper remained calm. He smoked. He told the passengers, "Everything is fine. Don't worry." The money and parachutes were brought onto the plane. Cooper checked them. $200,000. $10,000 $20 bills. All new, all serial numbered. 4 parachutes. 2 main, 2 reserve. Cooper inspected every one. He didn't rush. He was professional. No problems. Everything was set. Cooper released all 36 passengers. Only the crew remained. 2 pilots, 1 engineer, 1 flight attendant. Cooper said, "We're going to Mexico." He gave the crew instructions. 10,000 feet altitude, 170 knots airspeed, flaps at 15 degrees, low on fuel. We'll land in Reno. Flight attendant Tina Mucklow stayed with him. Cooper ordered food from her, a hamburger. He didn't want wine, he stuck with the bourbon. He spoke politely, kindly. The plane took off again. 7:40 p.m. Destination, Reno, Nevada. But Cooper didn't share his plan. Mexico was a lie. The real goal, escape. Cooper sent the crew to the cockpit. He told them to close the door. He was alone in the rear cabin. Just him, the money, the parachutes, and the night. 8 p.m. The plane was over Washington State. Darkness, rain, a storm, visibility, almost zero. No one would see a thing. Cooper opened the rear staircase. The aft door is a feature of the Boeing 727. It can be opened in flight. Wind, noise, chaos. Warning lights flashed in the cockpit. The cabin pressure dropped. The pilots knew. Cooper had jumped. Time, 8:13 p.m. Location, over Washington, near Portland. Into the black of night. At 10,000 feet. In the middle of a rainstorm. With $200,000 and a parachute. No one knew where he landed. The plane landed in Reno. 9:15 p.m. The crew was in shock. The FBI moved in immediately. They collected Cooper's tie and cigarette butts. They searched for clues. The FBI launched Operation Norjack. It stood for Northwest Hijacking. More than 1,000 agents were assigned. Nothing like this had ever happened. The search began. The forests of Washington were scoured. Helicopters, planes, soldiers. They searched all day. They found no trace. An SR-71 Blackbird spy plane was called in, the fastest plane in the world. It scanned the forests with a thermal camera. No heat signature was found. Cooper was gone. Late November. Snow, cold, darkness. Cooper jumped into a forest at night in the rain. Could he have survived? The FBI was doubtful, but there was no body, no proof. The FBI interrogated over 800 suspects. Every background, fingerprint, and statement was checked. None of them matched. Who was Cooper? The flight attendant's description: 40s, dark brown eyes, olive skin, 5'10" to 6'0", tall. Smoked, drank bourbon, was calm. They looked for clues on his tie. A JCPenney brand, $1, $50. Cheap, ordinary. A pearl tie pin, fastened with his left hand. DNA couldn't be extracted. The technology didn't exist in 1971. The cigarette butts were lost. A huge mistake by the FBI. In 1971, DNA tech wasn't a thing. No one cared. Years later, they looked for them, but they were gone. The money was serial numbered. 10,000 $20 bills. L series. Printed in 1969. The FBI alerted all banks. Find these serial numbers. 1972, 1973, 1974. Not a single bill surfaced. No bank saw them. Did Cooper not spend it? Did he die? Did he hide it? 1980, February. On the banks of the Columbia River, an 8-year-old kid was digging in the sand. He found something. Money. The boy's name was Brian Ingram. He was on a picnic with his family. He found $5,800 in the sand. Torn, deteriorated, scattered. But the serial numbers matched. The FBI mobilized instantly. Geologists were called in. Sand analysis was done. The flow of the Columbia River was studied. How did the money get there? The location was 20 miles, 32 kilometers from the jump zone. Cooper couldn't have landed there, but the money was there. Did the river carry it? Did someone else put it there? The FBI formed 3 theories. 1, Cooper died. His body fell in the river. The money scattered. 2, Cooper survived, buried the money, a flood washed it away. 3, something else. The remaining $194,200 missing, never found. 40 years passed, no one spent it. The legend deepened. Richard Floyd McCoy II, April 1972, Utah. Same method, hijacked a plane, jumped with a parachute. $500,000, almost the exact same plan. McCoy was caught within 2 days. The FBI found the parachute, got fingerprints. McCoy got 45 years, but he wasn't Cooper. He was too young. 1974. McCoy escaped from prison. The FBI chased him. 3 months later, a shootout. McCoy was killed, but his secrets died with him. The FBI never saw McCoy as Cooper. The age didn't match. He was 27. Cooper was in his 40s. He didn't smoke. Cooper did. Different guys. The 1990s. Hundreds more suspects. Every one of them said, "I'm Cooper." The media loved it. Books were written. Documentaries were made. But there was no proof. 2000. DNA technology improved. The FBI retested the tie. DNA from 3 different people was found. But which one was Cooper? Impossible to know. The tie had been handled by too many people since 1971. It was contaminated. The DNA was mixed. No definitive result. Another dead end. Dwayne Weber. On his deathbed, he told his wife, "I am D.B. Cooper," 1995. But his DNA didn't match. It was a lie. Kenneth Christensen, a Northwest Orient flight attendant. He looked like Cooper, but no proof. He was dead. No DNA could be taken. Robert Rackstraw, former military pilot, CIA connections, Vietnam vet, in his 40s. The FBI questioned him. He denied it. He died in 2019. The mystery lived on. 2009. Paleontologist Tom Kay analyzed the tie. He found pollen, chemicals, metal particles, traces of titanium and stainless steel. The aerospace industry. Was Cooper an aerospace engineer? A Boeing employee? A metallurgist? The clues pointed that way. But who? 2011. The DNA test was done again. New technology. Tom Kay used a special filter. DNA fragments were collected. The results were pending. The FBI was silent. No announcement. The test results weren't shared. Why? We don't know. Maybe there was no result. Maybe it was classified. 2016. The FBI made an official announcement. The D.B. Cooper investigation is closed. 45 years have passed. No active investigation. Resources are limited. Case closed. But was it really closed? Former FBI agent Larry Carr said, "Maybe it's continuing in secret. Nobody knows." The Cooper legend didn't end. Books, movies, TV shows. The show Prison Break, the movie Without a Paddle, an HBO documentary, a new theory every year. Every November in Portland, they celebrate Cooper Days. Festivals, costumes, competitions. It's been going on for 50 years. The legend is alive. 2023. A huge development. Richard McCoy's children spoke out. "Our father was D.B. Cooper," they said. They offered proof. A parachute. Shantae and Rick McCoy III. They found a parachute in their mother's storage unit in North Carolina, a modified military parachute. A rare model. They called YouTuber Dan Grider, a retired pilot, an aviation expert. Grider examined the chute. "This is 1 in a billion," he said. It could be Cooper's. The McCoy siblings had known for years, but they didn't talk. Why? To protect their mother. Their mother died in 2020. Now they could talk. Was their mother, Karen McCoy, an accomplice? The kids thought so, that she planned both robberies, that she helped Richard, but she was never caught. 2023. Dan Grider uploaded a video to YouTube. He told the McCoy family's story. He showed the parachute. The FBI was interested. A month later, the FBI called. They told the McCoy family, "We want to search your property." The family agreed. The FBI came. They searched everywhere. The FBI took the parachute. Rick McCoy gave a DNA sample. It was sent to the lab. It would be compared with the DNA from the tie. Results were pending. Grider's theory: the FBI knew Richard McCoy was Cooper, but they made a mistake. They entered his house without a search warrant. The case could have been thrown out. That's why they only charged McCoy with the Utah hijacking. 45 years. No Cooper charge. The FBI covered up the mistake. Richard McCoy was a Green Beret, served 2 tours in Vietnam. Pilot, parachutist, demolitions expert. He had 39 military jumps. He was a professional. McCoy wasn't as young as the FBI claimed. He could have worn makeup, a beard, a wig, glasses. He disguised his identity. The FBI: McCoy doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, but maybe he just acted that way. He was playing the role of Cooper. He left false clues. In the 1972 Utah hijacking, McCoy wrote a note by hand. He said he owned the FBI tie. The family said, "That tie was our father's." But the FBI didn't listen. They said, "McCoy is not Cooper." Case closed. McCoy died in 1974. The secrets went with him. 2024. January, Eric Eulis, another Cooper detective, made a claim: "We will solve his identity by the end of the year." Eulis got access to the DNA filter Tom Kay collected in 2011. It had been locked away for 13 years. It has Cooper's DNA on it. 100% certain. New technology, metagenomic DNA analysis. It can separate every piece of DNA. It works even on contaminated samples. This could solve the tie. Eulis sued the FBI. He wanted to test the metal part of the tie, the part called the spindle. It might have uncontaminated DNA. The court ruled in the FBI's favor. The tie was not handed over. Eulis: "The answers are there, in the FBI's hands. Why won't they give it up?" he asked. October 2024. The museum crisis. The Washington State Historical Museum was storing one of the parachutes. Tom Kay wanted to test it. The museum agreed, but at the last minute, the museum backed out. "No more tests," they said. No explanation. Why? Tom Kay was suspicious. Did the FBI intervene? Larry Carr, former FBI agent. Maybe the FBI is secretly testing everything. One last move: the tie, the parachute, the ticket. Getting DNA from all of them. Carr: "They said the case was closed, but it never closed. They're working in secret. They're not telling anyone." Is the case active in 2024? Yes, it could be. November 2024, 53 years later. The Thanksgiving anniversary. The media got interested again. Will it be solved? They asked. The FBI? No comment. December 2024. The McCoy family is waiting. When will the DNA results come? 6 months have passed. Still no news. The FBI is silent. Experts say 6 months and no result. That means the DNA didn't match. McCoy is not Cooper. But it's not certain. Eric Eulis asks, what will the FBI do now? If it's not McCoy, who else? Will they look at new suspects? No one knows. Vince Peterson, a metallurgist, died in 2002. The titanium and chemicals on the tie match his industry. A new suspect? Tom K. If there was a DNA match, the FBI would have announced it. Silence is bad news. Cooper is still a ghost. October 26, 2025. Still unknown. Cooper became a piece of pop culture. Dozens of books have been written since 1980. The book Skyjack. The book The Real McCoy. Films The Pursuit of D.B. Cooper, 1981. Robert Duvall starred. Without a Paddle, 2004. A comedy. But the real story is more interesting. TV shows. In Prison Break, the character Charles Westmoreland was inspired by Cooper. Mad Men made a Don Draper reference. Music, songs named D.B. Cooper. The album The Legend Lives On. Folk, rock, country. They all told the Cooper legend. 2022. Netflix documentary. D.B. Cooper, Where Are You? 4 episodes. New theories, old suspects, interviews with the McCoy family. Every November in Ariel, Washington, a festival. D.B. Cooper Days. Parachute jumping shows. Cooper costumes. The legend lives. D.B. Cooper t-shirts, hats, and mugs are sold. There are gift shops in the Portland airport. Cooper became a brand. The FBI's official website still has the Cooper file. In the Unsolved Cases section, the most famous file, the most clicked page. Over 100 people a year write to the FBI saying, I am Cooper, or my father was Cooper. All are investigated. None turn out to be true. Why is he so compelling? Because Cooper succeeded. He escaped. He wasn't caught. He took the money. He vanished. America's only unsolved skyjacking. The social impact. After 1972, airport security changed. Metal detectors were installed. Baggage screening began. The rear staircase on all Boeing 727s was locked. The Cooper vane was invented. It prevents the rear staircase from opening during flight. It was fitted on all 727s. Cooper's legacy. Paranoia began. In 1972-1973, 15 copycat crimes were attempted. All failed. All were caught. Only Cooper succeeded. Why? Was it luck, professionalism, planning? No one knows. But the result is clear. 54 years of freedom. Or death. But he was never found. The FBI profile, military background, parachute experience, aviation knowledge, detailed knowledge of the Boeing 727. Not a professional criminal, but a daring amateur. Some experts say, Cooper died. The jump was too risky. Night, rain, cold. He couldn't have survived. But there's no body. No trace at all. Other experts say, Cooper lived, he was experienced, he planned well. He took the money, hid, and didn't spend it. He died quietly. But who was he? 2025, February. A new theory. Cooper was actually a woman, a former flight attendant, dressed in drag. That's why she was never found. The theory was wild, but no proof. Is the DNA male or female? The FBI didn't say. No one knows. The speculation continues. March 2025. Another YouTuber. I found Cooper. He's living in California. 97 years old. A big claim, but no proof. More junk news. April 2025. No new statement from the FBI. The McCoy DNA results still haven't been released. Is the parachute test not finished? No one knows. May 2025. Tom K. Communication with the FBI is cut. They aren't telling us anything. They're working in secret, or they're not doing anything. June 2025. Eric Eulis. The metagenomic DNA analysis has begun. We expect results by the end of the year. If Cooper's DNA is identified, we will find his identity. But that "if" is important. What if the DNA is degraded, contaminated? Not enough? What then? The mystery will continue. July 2025. A debate started. Should Richard McCoy's grave be opened? DNA could be taken from the bones. It would give a definitive result, but the family refused. An ethical family issue. Don't disturb our father's grave, they said. But the public says, we want to know the truth. Whose rights are more important? August 2025. A new book is out. Cooper's Last Jump, The Final Truth. The authors claim Cooper was a CIA agent, a secret operation. That's why the FBI is silencing it. A conspiracy theory? Maybe. But the Cooper case breeds conspiracy theories. People want to believe. They love mysterious stories. September 2025. A statement from the McCoy family. The FBI is still in contact with us. The DNA test is ongoing. Be patient. But when will it end? October 2025. 54 years have passed. November is approaching. Another anniversary. Another round of media interest. The question, will it be solved this year? The answer, no. October 26, 2025. Today, still no definitive answer. Is Richard McCoy Cooper? The DNA results haven't been released. The FBI is silent. Is it Vince Peterson? Someone else? A woman? A CIA agent? There are theories, but no proof. The mystery continues. Does Cooper's real identity even matter? Maybe, but the legend has already been written. It's been told for 54 years. It's become the subject of stories. It won't be forgotten. Society is obsessed with Cooper. Why? Because he succeeded. He beat the system. He got away. He was free. The dark version of the American dream. Is Cooper a hero? No. He's a criminal. He hijacked a plane. He terrified people. He broke the law. But he never killed anyone. That's important. If Cooper died, he froze in the forest, his body rotted, never to be found. $200,000 mixed with the soil. A tragic end. If Cooper lived, he took the money, hid, changed his identity, and died quietly. He committed the perfect crime. He was never caught. In either scenario, the result is the same. Cooper is missing for 54 years. Maybe he'll never be found. Maybe the FBI will announce the results. Maybe not. D.B. Cooper, Dan Cooper, or whatever his real name was. The man who vanished into thin air. One of America's greatest mysteries. November 24th, 1971. It started that day, October 26, 2025. It continues today. The story isn't over. The mystery lives on. And maybe it never will end.